Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Before we get started, I would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button, and then at the end of this video, if you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. So guys, today was a video that I didn't have planned, which is kind of fun. It just I came to had the idea when I was waking up this morning. And basically, so some of you know that I'm a photographer. I went to school for it, I'm trained, all of the above. But in the last year, I would say, I kind of feel like my passion or my drive for it has kind of gone away. And I think that's because I have let myself feel really insecure about it and lose my confidence about it, and really just feel like others were better than me and comparing myself to others all the time, like other photographers' work, and being like, I'm not that good, I'm never gonna get that good. So I kind of just stopped doing it, and I kind of stopped editing, and I stopped the whole thing. And last night I was just sitting by myself, really just trying to decompress after this crazy week I just had. And I was thinking, I kind of got teary-eyed, and I started thinking photography has been my passion since I was 13 years old, and I know it's something that the Lord put me on this earth to do, and whether you think that's silly or not, I know that's fact. And so so today I was like, you know what, I am going to go explore, and I'm gonna just take photos of what I see. And I already have some locations in mind of old buildings and old landmarks that I really want to photograph. So I have acquired my dad. I'm gonna get him to drive me around because he grew up in Fort Worth, and so he knows the area really well, and I still don't really know where I'm going and things like that. And he knows old spots that not everybody knows about and things like that. So he's gonna kind of be my assistant. I'm just going out in a sweatshirt and wet hair because why not? And I'm really excited. I'm hoping I get some really good shots, and yeah, so I'm gonna bring you guys along for the ride, and let's see what we get. I wanted to let you guys know that I am going to link my photography website in the description box below, and I am going to be having a print shop. And then in 2020, I'm hoping by the end of January 2020, the print shop will be up and live, and you can buy prints of mine. I have some really fun work that I haven't really been able to share with anybody, just because it's work that I don't want to put on social media because I don't want it to get stolen and things like that. So work that's really exciting, and that you guys can buy a print of and hang up in your home and all that jazz. So just wanted to add that little tidbit before I head out, because that's something we're also doing today, is I'm trying to find more work or more things to photograph, to do more work to share it with you guys. So yeah, okay, let's go. Well, I wanted to place the camera on the dash to record for you guys, but it is so bright outside. That's not helping anything at all. Okay, so anyways, I haven't gotten a lot of vlog footage yet, because the first two places I wanted to photograph, one of them I couldn't go because they were open, and I didn't want them to be I don't know, it's in an interesting area, kind of a rundown area, and I didn't want them to be weird about me photographing them. So I think I'm gonna go back a different day with that one, and when it's closed. And then the other one, I quite literally had to hop out of the car, take a couple pictures, and hop back in. And then a guy came out, and he was kind of looking at me. And basically I was taking pictures in this area where there were these really cool old cars. And so as I was hopping back in the car, I was just taking pictures of the cool old cars. And then luckily he was oh, okay. But I was what? It just cracks me up how people get so uncomfortable when a camera is around. They are just what are they doing? And it's I'm not gonna take your picture. I'm never gonna take your picture without asking you to take your picture, if I can take your picture. I don't know, it's just interesting. I haven't done this in a while, and I always forget the weird looks I get, especially when I don't know, I feel maybe I'm more sensitive to it because I'm out of practice. But in case anybody is wondering, I am shooting with the Canon 5D Mark IV. I'm shooting with my 24 to 70 millimeter lens, and this is the one I shoot with 90% of the time. I shoot with this lens, unless I'm going to shoot with a telephoto lens. But I have my lens hood on today just because it is kind of a sunny day, and I just don't know. There are some photos I don't really want to have a lot of sunlight in, and sometimes I do take the lens hood off, and it helps with getting really cool light effects. But I'm just kind of playing that by ear. And then most of the time I'm shooting This will make sense if you're into photography and if you follow along, but I'm shooting in the setting AV. I always shoot in setting AV. It's what my photography professors recommended when I was in college, and so I literally have never changed. I shoot in AV, I shoot in manual focus, and I usually shoot with an aperture of about 6.3, or my f-stop 6.3, and I usually do like an ISO that's auto. Some people like to manually set their ISO. I personally don't like to mess with it if I don't have to. If like the photos turning out okay and everything looks okay, then I don't want to mess with it. And sometimes I trust the camera more than I trust myself, especially with ISO. But yeah, that's the settings I'm shooting with today. I always shoot on manual. I think the last photo I took was auto just because I kind of needed to do it quickly and kind of hop in and out of the car. But yeah, so I'm excited to share these photos with you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to share them soon. I will say I picked up photos to go on my print shop online, and I was not happy with the way they came out, which is quite frustrating because this is the second time I've had to print. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I had issues the first time, and this is the first reprint, and basically just decided like I don't think I've been clear enough with this photo company about what I want, but I also kind of trusted them way more than I should. Like I kind of thought like, oh, a photo lab will know what they're doing. And if you're a photographer, like you'll get this. Like basically like I cropped the images myself and sent in the dimensions, but then like told them like, okay, I'm gonna need like a 1 inch around the photo for me to sign, or you know, probably more than 1 inch. But basically I, you know, emphasized that I needed there to be a white frame around the image, and they just like didn't get that. And I really don't know if I communicated that well enough, or maybe I should have used something like, maybe, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand why that's hard to understand. Like I wish they would have been like more communicative with me and been like, you know, well, if you want this size image, you need to have this for the frame. I don't know. If you're not into photography, this is probably really boring for you, and I'm sorry, but if you're into photography and you're a photographer, like maybe you can tell me what I should have said, because like this is the second time we've had this issue. The first time they printed the photos and there's this like god-awful border around it that was only on the sides, and I was like, I mean, am I supposed to crop that? Like, and then with these photos, I'm like, okay, so, you know, I traditionally have printed photos that already have a, you know, a white border around the photo, so you already kind of have a built-in mat, so that like when you put a mat on the photo, it's not taking away from the photo, like it doesn't crop any of it. I don't know. I'm just confused, and I feel like I maybe should have communicated it better, but it's an adventure, and setting up an online store is just like, there's so many issues to run into, and I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. I think I'm just like learning a lot this first round before, you know, after I start selling and have to get more printed, like I'm learning a lot this time. So anyways, we're probably gonna go out and shoot for like another hour, just because it's already like we don't even know what time it is. I think it's already like 2:30, and I just know that like it gets dark here so early. It gets dark here around like 5:30. Yeah, it's already 3, and so we need to probably be done in the next hour, just because it is gonna get dark. So anyways, I'm really excited I'm doing this. It like just felt so good just to get my camera out and just take pictures, and like not feel just this sense of like trying to live up to somebody else's expectations, or trying to like be something I'm not. Like whenever people ask me what kind of photography I do, and I tell them like I don't do wedding, it's not my business, I do more fine art, people like don't know quite what to think of it. And so hopefully by doing this, you guys will get more of an idea of what kind of work I do. So yeah. What a fun surprise. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, it's a classic building.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, baby.
Thank you for a good day.
You're welcome.
So I'm going home to pack for Christmas Eve. Even though my parents only live like 10 minutes away, I'm still gonna spend the night with them. It's just easier, and I would like to wake up, you know, at the house on Christmas Day. So I'm gonna go home and edit, and I'm really excited for you guys to see the photos that I got from today. It was really cool. My dad my dad grew up in the area, and like we have long lines of like generations of my family have lived in this area, and so it was really cool to be able to see like places where I had grandparents or great grandparents live, and like I saw a church that my grandfather preached at one point in my dad's life, and yeah, it's just crazy too because the area is like now really run down, and it's kind of sad to see it, but it's like also really cool at the same time to see like all this history that like of Fort Worth that my family was involved in. So it's funny, I didn't even like plan on that happening or like that being a part of today, but it actually was like such a gift to have that be a part of today. And so yeah, it's just crazy how much history there is. And like I got to photograph this movie theater that like my grandmother used to go to like in the 40s and 50s, which is just crazy. Now it's run down, which I wish it was, you know, still working, but it's so tiny, so that's also like just so weird and crazy. So anyways, I am stopped at Walgreens, gonna get some stuff before I head home, and then I will edit the rest of this there. Okay, so I'm at my computer. I'm gonna edit. Excuse the glare on my glasses. Gotta wear these blue light glasses or I will get a headache. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys on my computer kind of like the process of how I edit and things like that, just in case anybody is curious. I do occasionally use presets. Some people ask me about that, and I do. I have, I went on a trip about a year ago, actually a little over a year ago, with Kirsten from The Blonde Abroad. If you don't know who that is, definitely look her up. She's a travel blogger. I went on a trip with her to Cape Town, South Africa, and Kirsten has a whole set of presets, so part of that trip was getting those presets, so I do use those occasionally. I also do have presets from Visco, like computer presets. They used to do that a few years ago. I don't think they do that anymore. But yeah, and then I use Adobe Lightroom to edit. I'm gonna show you guys that in just a minute. It's just being a little finicky at the moment. I use Adobe Lightroom Classic. I don't use Adobe, like the one that's in the, like, something to do with like the cloud. I don't like it. I don't think it's as good, and I think it's more confusing. So this is what my Lightroom looks like. As you guys can see, this is a lot of images from an engagement shoot I did a few years ago for one of my really good friends, and got a lot of photos on here. I have 18,000 on here, so yeah, that's a lot. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and go in and go to develop. I'm sorry this isn't very close up. I probably could do this a whole lot easier, but actually I'm not going to develop. Sorry, my bad. I'm gonna go to import down in the left-hand corner. And my computer is being slow, partly because I have so many on here. And then all my images from this memory card are gonna pop up. I do have some video on here, so I need to go ahead and unclick those. So we're just gonna go ahead and like manually click the images that I know we're gonna want. I have some video on here that I just need to get rid of, and we're gonna let that load real quick. I honestly am like a little disgusted that I have 18,000 photos on here. I think other photographers will probably understand this, but like something I am not good at and something I need to be better at is after every project deleting the photos that either were not sent to the client or yeah, that weren't sent to the client or not used. And I'm really bad about that because I am kind of a hoarder by nature, especially when it comes to photos, because I just love holding on to that work. And I think sometimes I even keep like the work I'm not super duper proud of, which is just silly because at the end of the day, like I'm probably never gonna use it. But yeah, I mean, for a long time, some of you probably know this, and I'm just realizing now that my dryer is going on in the background and it might be some really loud background noise. So I'm gonna go fix that. I'm back. So some photographers might also understand this, but basically I am just a hoarder when it comes to my images, and I just, you know, you have to back everything up. I have 2 external hard drives. But yeah, back in the day, not back in the day, more like a couple years ago, I haven't done it in a year or two, I would shoot engagements for people. I did graduation, portraits, senior portraits, that kind of stuff, and super fun. I love engagements. For me, engagements way more fun than a wedding because you're just with the couple one-on-one, and you are with the couple one-on-one, you know, at a wedding, but there's just a difference. And to be quite frank, weddings kind of scare me because it's just such a like risky situation in the fact of like, you know, if something goes wrong. And I've been in an instance where I was shooting for a pretty big client and was shooting at the big event, and my camera was just not cooperating. Ended up having to take it in and get it fixed because the shutter wasn't working, and I didn't have like rule 101 of like being a photographer and like going on a shoot, you need to have a backup camera, and I didn't have my backup camera. This was before I learned, so I'm just become really wary after that situation, and I feel like because I didn't do a very good job and I felt like I really disappointed the client, and so that's probably the only instance where I've really felt like I was a bad photographer. But since then, I feel like I'm going in a tangent. I could talk about photography all day long. For me, looking at these photos right now, I'm like, oh, I need to really delete some, because like I love shooting people's engagement graduations, but like I don't need to keep some of the ones that, like, you know, I don't need to keep them all. Okay guys, so I had some issues with my Lightroom, ended up having to be updated. That's why it was being so freaking slow, which, you know, tends to happen a lot. I have to always check Creative Cloud, Adobe Creative Cloud, and see, you know, if everything is updated and everything. So right now I'm going in and I'm going to be selecting the images from my memory card that I want to upload and I want to edit tonight. I have some images on this memory card from shoots in the past that I just, for now, I'm not going to use or not going to edit. Just because for the purpose of the video and purpose of time, it's just not smart. And then I have actually some old vlog footage on this memory card, so I'm having to go in and like make sure that those are not imported, because Lightroom doesn't work with videos. Lightroom is specifically a photo editing software, as you know, as well as like Photoshop and things like that. If you're going to want to edit videos, you need to go into Premiere, After Effects, things like that. So with Adobe, my favorite things to edit photos in is I edit in Lightroom, and then if I need to make modifications, if I need to fix something in the photo, I go into Photoshop. I think every photographer does it differently. Some people I know edit fully in Photoshop, and that's totally, I think it really all depends on the way you learned and the way you were trained. I was trained in my photography classes in college, I was trained to use Lightroom, and so my professors all used, it's just what you use. So it's really become what I'm the most comfortable with, and I've actually become less comfortable with Photoshop, which is just funny because I did graphic design in college too and was working a lot with Photoshop, and now I feel really at home in Lightroom. So I'm gonna update these photos and put them in a collection, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to kind of speed this up because this is just gonna take a minute for me to do all of this, and then I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to kind of put some images, like some still images in this video of photos that I took today, so you guys can kind of see like how I edited them. I'll do a side by side, and then, you know, if you guys are curious about presets, things like that, I can like put that in the description box below, or comment and let me know if you liked a photo and you're like, what preset did you use on that? I can definitely tell you. I am not going to be someone who makes presets at the moment. Your girl don't have time for that. So, and I think, you know, for a while I really loved that like photographers and really good travel photographers and people like that were making presets, and now that like people from The Bachelor and like influencers are making them, I'm a little salty about it because I'm like, do you know what you're doing? You don't though. So I don't want to fall into that category, and that is just my own pride. So I'm going to speed this up as I continue to edit. Also guys, I just want to let you know that if you are interested in me doing more photography videos, I have had a small amount of interest and would love for you guys to comment down below. Follow me on Instagram, let me know there too if you want me to do more tutorials on photography. I'm open to anything. I am just really getting back into it, and after taking a break, like I talked about earlier in the video, just really overcoming some imposter syndrome feelings and confidence issues and things like that. And so it was funny, just today going out and taking photos just like made my soul so happy, just because I just did it because I love it, not because I was like doing it for a goal of anything. And that just is the best when you have a passion like that. So if you guys would like me to do videos, either like walking through Lightroom, editing more in depth, like I can do that in a video. I just decided that wasn't going to be the right path for this type of video, but yeah, if you guys are interested in that, if you want photography tips, tutorials, things like that, I can do a whole series if anybody's interested. So if you are, please comment down below and let your girl know. That rhymed. Didn't intend for it to, but I'm okay with it. Okay guys, so here are the photos I took today. I'm only sharing 3 just because I didn't get that much, but as you can see, I have the edited photo and the original photo side by side, so comment below if you want to know what preset I used. Okay guys, so if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know if you want me to do more photography centered videos. Please, please, please let me know. And make sure you are subscribed to my channel and turn on those notifications so you know every time I post. I really work on posting every week. With the holidays, it's been a little crazy, but we're gonna get back on track. And I love you guys so, so much. I really appreciate you watching. Every view and every subscriber means so much to me. It just encourages me to keep going on this creative adventure. So, love you guys so much. When this video comes out, it's almost Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all the above. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Wow, that actually worked. I thought on Even Stevens one time. I didn't think it actually worked.